Is there a difference between a safety officer and a safety engineer? You watch this. Many of the followers have been wondering, is there a real difference between a safety officer and a safety engineer? Well, the most simple answer is yes. They differ on the scope of their work. Now, if you watch until the end of this video, I'll be taking my point whether an HSE officer or a safety officer can become a safety engineer. So to make it more clear, I've made my own table to show you the actual differences between a safety officer and a safety engineer. First, let's start off with the focus or scope of their work. A safety officer is tasked to do the implementation and the management of the safety procedures. Your safety engineer focuses on the technical aspects and the implementation of the safety management system. Now let's take an example between a safety officer and a safety engineer. Suppose your activity is excavation. Your safety engineer will have to know the type of soil, what type of side protection system you have to put in place. On the other hand, your safety officers must ensure that these systems are already in place, the people are wearing the PPE, procedures such as permit to work system, job safety analysis, toolbox talks have been done. Now another example is working inside a chemical warehouse. The safety officer must ensure that the proper PPE is available, the MSDS, the warning signs, and the emergency eye wash and shower is available. On the other hand, your safety engineer must know the proper distancing between each chemicals, the type of hazards for each chemical, the sprinkler system, the ventilation system, and even the drainage system. Now moving on to education. A safety officer must have at least a minimum of a high school diploma. Ideally, you must have the bachelor's degree in any relevant field. Say for example, industrial hygiene, diploma in occupational health and safety, and even nursing. For your safety engineer, you must have at least a degree in engineering. Say for example, industrial engineering, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, chemical engineering, and so on. You can also have a Master's of Science in Occupational Health and Safety to become a safety engineer. Moving on to specific job responsibilities. Now don't get confused. A job of a safety engineer and a job of a safety officer can sometimes overlap. However, just think of this as a safety officer is more on the field work, trying to know if the safety procedures and the safety management systems are actually implemented and enforced. On the other hand, your safety engineer focuses more on the technical aspects of health and safety. Say for example, auditing and implementation of your internal safety management system, doing a root cause analysis, doing safety studies such as your hazard, your HAZOP, your risk assessment, and so on. Additionally, the safety engineer must also ensure that your company is in line with the local regulations and the international regulations as well. Now let's move on to the career progression. You, as a safety officer, can become a safety consultant, a safety supervisor, and even a safety manager. As a safety engineer, you can also become a safety manager and even a safety director. So now, based on the things that we have discussed, there is a clear difference between a safety officer and a safety engineer. And it all goes down to their focus or the scope of their job. So now, I'll try to address all the questions that you've been trying to ask me. Can a safety officer become a safety engineer? So the answer is yes. A safety officer can become a safety engineer. In my line of work, I know a lot of safety professionals who started off as a safety assistant, then became a safety officer, and then now they work as safety engineers. However, you as a safety officer must continue studying, must continue learning, must take necessary international courses, diploma courses to at least advance your level of education. Next one is that it will take years and years of experience in your field of safety to become a safety engineer. So there you go. You, as a safety officer, can always become a safety engineer. All you need is just patience in order for you to attain your goals. For more videos, please hit like and follow. Thank you.